Hello, and welcome to another episode of Let's Draw It Wrong. In this episode, we get our girl power on with Lisa Frank and her cacophony of sparkles, glitter, and of course a little spicy donut branded gore. Thanks to everybody who voted on my Patreon and helped make this episode a glittery reality. If you're not familiar with Lisa Frank, there was an explosion of hyper-colorful school supplies and apparel in the 90s, which featured bright neons, lots of sparkles, rainbows, and dolphins. Adult eyeballs would literally burst into flames at the mere sight of a Lisa Frank Trapper Keeper, and kids loved it. So we're playing in this Lisa Frank rainbow radiated hell, but I want to tie it all together somehow and not just do a puppy or something. So I decided I should bring in another element, something that says 90s girl power and that would tie it all together. So I went with the magical girl. If you grew up in the 90s like me, Sailor Moon laser etched her sparkling transformations into your brain every morning before school. Sailor Moon and her team of superheroines would distribute justice in romantical fashion to evildoers. So my idea is a Lisa Frank magical girl. She would summon adorable creatures and have ridiculously glittery powers and, Sailor Moon it up. So let's get started and recreate the era of radiation rainbows and dolphin-drenched dreams. When I start sketching, I usually have a bunch of reference pulled, but I don't have a full idea of how things are going to go. Most of the sketch process is experimenting with ideas and layouts. I usually have a couple things in mind. I know I want to feature like dolphins, rainbows, and kitty cats, but other than that, I don't really know where I'm going. I go through multiple layers of sketching. Each layer refines what I did in the last and builds on top of the ideas I start with and refines it. I don't just redraw it tighter though. I'm still changing things around and blocking things out. You can probably start to catch some glimpses of like dolphin explosions and kitty cat expulsions and, all that good stuff. And of course, we have a magical rainbow unicorn. As we tighten up, I start to get the idea that she's mid-transformation, which happens a lot in magical girl anime. They, have their normal plain everyday school clothes and then say some magic line and then all their clothes rip off and they transform into this, supreme fighter for justice. I jump over to Photoshop real quick to make some quick adjustments with the Liquify tool. This helps me play with pushing the proportions a bit. This is a powerful tool, but it can be used for evil. Or asses.
Shoot that boot.
Okay, we got lots of rough horribleness sketched out. Let's get some inks down. So you may have noticed her torso, or lack thereof. I think I just like drawing rib cages.
The McRib is back.
She has a cute little something in place of her stomach that's just gnawing away on some guts. You gotta try this new diet surgery, intestinal cat. Finally, I could eat all the cat food I want without gaining any of the weight. Gotta get those gams going next. Lots of fun opportunities to have some skin cross sections. Did anybody else always cringe when a commercial would show a girl shaving wrong and the actress would heavily overreact? Well, I decided to put that cringe into my art, and you're welcome. Let's move on to the Dolphin Swarm Ultimate Summer Beam Blast. You gotta have a pod of rainbow dolphins in there if you're doing Lisa Frank, and for some reason using this power just obliterates your whole arm. At least her blood type is Roy G. Biv. Got jokes. Anyway, let me know in the comments what you think the worst power would be. Let's get into this Tiara Princess Tiger who is vomiting a swarm of fat blobby kittens. Thinking on it, I'm not sure this would deter any villain. I mean, maybe if the villain was horribly allergic to cats, or maybe just the overload of cuteness would distract him from their evil scheme. Thinking about it, maybe it's not so bad. Bring a box of kittens into any office and see how much work gets done. It's deceptively genius. Kitten power. Yes, one of the fat cats has shutter shades. How dare you question it? Let's get on this unicorn. Drawing horses is always kind of a nightmare. Also, it's kind of a weird angle. Don't hate. It's not the best, but I do what I can. Of course, it's also more horrifying because it's got a second mouth like something out of Alien. which has a teeny tiny unicorn horn on it, which might bring it back to adorable. Also, it should be skewering something cute. Maybe a fat squirrel? Oh, don't worry, he was a terrible squirrel. He committed squirrely genocide and ruled over his squirrel brethren with an iron fist. Don't pity him. It's the end of an oppressive regime. Let's tie it all together with some rainbow glitter magic. That should lead the eye around the piece and help you travel to each hidden horror as you view it. Like a funhouse of magical atrocities, which is also something that evil squirrel subjected his people to. Lisa adds a lot of foods into her designs, and I think we'll give this magical girl a cake base to stand on, prop her up, and then we'll add a couple weird, horrible skeleton unicorn penguins. I think they're my new favorite characters, and I'm probably going to start putting them in everything, because I really like their, design. They're just great. Maybe stickers. I don't care if anybody buys them. I love them. And we'll have a couple little nods to Evangelion. Alright, let's throw some random 90s stuff into the background, like a giant cell phone and hot dogs and a huge PC with a dumb screensaver, flying Pop-Tarts or whatever. Really 90s it up. Alright, feeling pretty good about this. Let's go ahead and drop in some flat colors there. You gotta make sure there's so many colors that you can't really even focus in one area. It's gotta be blast to your senses. And then we'll start getting into the details. We want anime shading on this, so we'll keep it pretty simple. Here's a pro tip. If you want something to feel softer, like hair, you can change the line color from black to something a bit brighter. In this case, I'm doing like a purpley pink, which is still dark enough to say outline, but it lightens things up. I decided to keep the rib cage bloody so it would really stand out against that unicorn, which is a sentence you can't get anywhere else. $5 to anyone who can get an edit of Bob Ross clips together saying that. So many colors, and we're adding a lot of details. I don't think anyone would ever notice or care about it, but my retinas have not suffered enough. Unlike the squirrels that lived underneath Squirrel Hitler, or as I will now refer to him, Squitler. Alright, from what I read, working for Lisa Frank was a real nightmare. I wonder how many artists cowered in fear over the proper placement of sprinkles in a Lisa Frank design.
Do you even know what a sprinkle is, you moron? Eat it. Eat the sprinkles, and maybe you'll learn to draw a sprinkle, you talentless hack.
Okay, everything is nice and shaded, and we're going to blur the line work just a bit to soften it out. Then we're going to duplicate our color layer and set it to a glow dodge to really make it glow and brighten it up. We want it to feel like it's glowing off the screen. And let's add sparkles, and then more sparkles, and then more sparkles that you can't possibly imagine there being more sparkles. And then, when that's done, add some more sparkles. We want it drenched in glitter. We want it glowing and drenched in glitter, and just too much glitter. Okay, let's sign this masterpiece and turn it into a Lawson Frank logo. Her logo is like 3 filters. I'm not sure it's been updated since Photoshop came out. It's like bevel and rainbow gradient, and that's all it is. That's all there is to it. Since this is very Magical Girl and a bit Vaporwave, I think we need some kanji in here. And I think I'm just gonna make some kanji that says my buddy Ghost House's food order. Combination lo mein, no vegetables. I think that's appropriate. I have no idea if this is right, but we're adding it anyway. And let's gussy it up, and let's get ready for the final reveal. But first, I just want to thank my very excellent patrons for supporting this Nightmare Fuel. If you're interested in seeing all the behind the scenes or just want to join up for my Sticker of the Month or Print of the Month Club, go find me at patreon.com/thespicydonut. And if you are digging this video, please like, subscribe. And now let's get to the final reveal. Oh, No, so sparkly and magical and horrible. So many things. Alright, let's place this on a Teen Girls Trapper Keeper, which should feel right at home.
Totally rad.
And why not? Let's put it in the MoMA. Beautiful. Just fits perfectly. All right, and lastly, let's just throw it on some t-shirts and put it up for sale on my website. Hey, if you wanna go check it out, check out spicydonutshop.com. Get yourself a dumb t-shirt. Beautiful. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and if you want to see something else drawn horribly wrong, let me know in the comments. And also, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Stay magical.